it, AD. Call something else. Something else. Something else. Run it.
Their flexibility and their ability to adapt should send the Patriots into the postseason undefeated.
All right,
and you can bet that's the situation Belichick has already prepared them for.
All right, it's down and distance. Down and distance. Let's be right on these substitutions. Know the situation here. Know the situation.
That is just great stuff, Steve Zabel. And since joining the Patriots in 2000, Belichick's teams have only improved with each month, culminating with a 29-7 record in December and January. And I loved hearing what I just heard, because I think, to me, it points out what makes the Belichick teams great and what separates the Belichick teams from a lot of other teams in the NFL, and it's knowing the situations. It's whether Mike Vrabel can play both sides of the ball. It's Kevin Falk stripping Ed Reed in that crucial interception towards the end of the first half in that Ravens-Patriots game that the Ravens came away with no points. It's Vince Wilfork hopping on the ball against the Jets in the playoffs last year because he realized it was a loose ball and no one else did. And I'm just wondering why that is. Is it just hearing Belichick go over these things all the time in practice? Is that what it is?
He's prepared. They're prepared for everything. The one thing is we're going to marvel over this season and what they've done. But I think you have to look at is the whole time there, his ability to get these guys, and they shuffle guys in and out, to buy into one thing, and that's winning, regardless of what you have to do. That's if Junior Seau has to play fullback, come off the bench. That's if Rodney Harris has to come in, and they ask him to play in the box or in the back. It doesn't matter. Troy Brown, hey, we're going to put you at nickel. You're going to cover some guys, but you're not going to start at receiver. Whatever they have to do, he's got these guys to buy into it, and that's tough. You know that.
I think he do a great job of mixing the young and the old. And as far as the offensive line, having an old veteran, as far as the receivers, having a veteran. Each segment, they feature a veteran. And one thing about these guys, like you said, they buy into what he does, and he gets the most out of every guy on that team.
He does, and he and Scott Pioli have done a nice job drafting and hitting on most of their draft picks, and also acquiring free agents that they bring in and they make very productive. But that winning in December and January, making his team better and keeping them fresh and healthy towards the end is very, very impressive.
All part of what everyone refers to as the Patriot way, and their way has been perfect throughout this regular season. And as we get you set for kickoff, this is the way things look on NFL Network Saturday with Playbook, Who is Perfect, and then, of course, 6 hours of pregame before kickoff.
6 hours?
Yes.
Get up to speed with everything you need to know for your fantasy team. Sunday News Update, presented by Verizon Wireless on NFL Network.
Well, the New England Patriots go for a perfect season live on NFL Network.
What started as a dream is now on the threshold of reality. The genius coach, the golden boy quarterback, poised to lay claim as the greatest football team ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, I hope the Giants win.
If you're already a dynasty, what comes after that?
The perfect season is on the line. Patriots-Giants Saturday at 8 on NFL Network.
Shop victoriously.
Get ready for a war. On January 1st, Jet Li and Jason Statham are at war. Rated R.
You and I are gonna finish this.
Own it on DVD and Blu-ray January 1st.
Their day begins like yours. Quick breakfast, drive down to work. Another day on the job.
Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Mary. But after all the pleasantries, we talk about the weekend. From that point on, it's all business.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the Texas Bowl, presented by Radio Shack. 10-7 Houston the score. Brad Sham with Charles Davis and Mike Mayock. And the story of this game, really, Charles, has been the fact that Houston's 500 yards a game offense has been bottled up.
It's been bottled up in the run game, but the guy who's made things work for them has been Case Keenum, their quarterback. Because of his feet and his elusiveness in the pocket, they did score the first touchdown of the game. He found Andre Kahn downfield.
The other quarterback did a good job there. Spread, option, made Rocky Schwartz miss for a touchdown.
But Andre Ulrich has really been bottled up, has run for negative yards in the first half. TCU's defense has been stout.
The number that jumps out to me in the pass game, 177 yards for Houston, 67 of them on the big scramble play by Case Keenum. Outside of that, Charles, look at the time of possession. What's that tell you?
For TCU, not good, because they've won their last 19 when they've won time of possession.
So the second half about to begin, and TCU, having won the toss and deferred their option, will have the football. And again, if you joined us along the way, TCU down a running back anyway. Lost Joseph Turner, their starting tailback, to a knee injury. So Justin Watts and Ryan Christian have been handling the duty. TJ Lawrence kicks off. And it's Christian at the 8. That's a nice return for Ryan Christian as we go down to the sideline to join our partner, Kimberly Jones.
Thank you, Brad. I just talked to Gary Patterson, the TCU coach. He said offensively, it's as simple as this. We've got to get in the end zone. He said we've got to score. You can't compete against a high-powered offense and expect to win 14-10. Defensively, he said we knew what was coming a couple of times. We didn't make the play. Case Keenum has been a headache to them. Gary Patterson told his defenders, you're reaching for their quarterback. You've got to tackle his legs.
And that's how you coach. Tackle his leg. Thanks, Kim. From the 40, it's still Andy Dalton at quarterback. And it is Justin Watts for a short gain. And I don't think we've had the opportunity to mention, but we'll redo it if we have, that both of these teams frequently use 2 quarterbacks in a game. So if you see a switch, don't think somebody did something wrong unless TCU's quarterback throws an interception, and not one like they did at the end of the half, because the rule they've had since midseason is Gary Patterson told his quarterbacks, throw an interception, you're sitting next to me on the next series. And they've cut their interceptions down since then. Lots of flags as Christian comes close for the first down, but I think he's going to get a chance to do it again. Looks like holding TCU.
And Ryan Christian becomes an increasingly important person in this offense. With the injuries at tailback, he's the guy that can line up at wide receiver, come in motion like he just did.
Offense, number 79, 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
That's the right tackle, Nick Richmond. Sorry,
That's
Mike.
his second one, his second holding penalty. Both were big plays by TCU that have to come back. And remember, guys, we talked at the beginning of the game, we felt that what slowed TCU down offensively was TCU. The penalties and the mistakes. Here we come out in the second half, and what happens?
Good play right away, get a penalty. Nick Richmond, as you mentioned, his second one. I remember talking with Mike Schultz, the offensive coordinator, and what did he say about Nick Richmond and the guy that rotates him, Marcus Cannon? They're both punks. Richmond's a sophomore, Cannon a redshirt freshman.
2nd and 16.